Warriors, welcome. My friends, if you haven't subscribed to the Anxiety Guy YouTube channel yet, please do below and hit the bell for all the notifications for all my videos. My friends, on this healing journey, we need to get to know this anxiety, where it comes from, why it continues to manifest a lot better. During my anxiety disorder days, if I experienced distress or I had intrusive thoughts, I would always try to distract myself from them or do something that would make me feel better. And I found that I was constantly going in circles. I would find that I would feel pleasant or neutral for a small period of time, but it seemed like I was always looking around the corner to see when my anxiety would arise again. So I found myself always standing guard, always constricted with my body, and never really allowing myself to explore the world, explore new belief systems, new thoughts. And I came to the conclusion, after a lot of investigation and research into this, that we are two separate people within one nervous system. We have within us the child mind and the adult mind, both fighting for supremacy to see which one of these minds are going to affect our behaviors. Now, since the child mind is directly connected to the subconscious mind, it does run our behaviors, our belief systems, and what we need to understand today is that the adult mind must begin portraying itself as the helper for the child mind in order for anxiety and everything that comes with it to dissipate. Now let's understand the child mind a little bit better. Between conception to 7 years of age, you were fed all these beliefs about everything. You were told you were this and you were that. You were told what was possible and what wasn't possible. And there were needs within you, needs related to love, connection, that weren't necessarily met. During those childhood days, you experienced multiple traumatic experiences. And I'm not talking about extreme things. The smallest things can be a traumatic experience for a child. So many times when we're parenting, we need to see the experience from the child's perspective. Now this child, when they get to the age of 7, develop what's called the critical factor. And this critical factor protects the core beliefs that the child began believing in from conception to 7. Now in today's world, the majority of people out there are no older than the age of 12 when it comes to their mental maturity. So the truth is that we're going through, the majority of us are going through every single day with the same beliefs we had from when we were 12. And we've never upgraded those beliefs. We've never gotten to a place where we have consistently brought to our attention a new way of perceiving something with great emotion and acting on it in order for it to be the new belief system that we carry around. So when discussing anxiety right now, you're living with anxiety, your child mind is doing a fabulous job of keeping you away from anything that it deems is a threat. Notice that that's happening in your life right now. I bet you're not being as creative as you want to. I bet you're not getting into new relationships the way you want to and make new friends and circles. I bet you're not exploring new environments or situations that you normally would if you didn't have anxiety. So if we look at it from the child mind's perspective, we can see that the child mind is looking to protect this system that has been bombarded by fear and trauma over the years, and it's doing a fabulous job of that. What does it mean? It means that your anxiety is connected to unconditional love coming from the child mind's perspective. Ooh, Dennis, unconditional love, protection, safety, anxiety, it's all starting to make sense now. Now, what starts to happen when we understand that it's not the adult mind that's creating anxiety? The adult mind wants to move forward in his or her life. What happens when we realize that it's coming from the child mind, this anxiety? Well, what starts to happen is we become more compassionate to ourselves. We can begin carrying around a photo of when we were small and recognize that anything at any moment when we feel anxious, it's directly connected to the younger version of us. And therefore we can be loving. We can be, as I mentioned, compassionate. We can be understanding, and most importantly, we can be redirecting the child mind in the direction that the adult mind wants to go. So, warrior, it's not about forcing the child mind to see a new perspective. It's about working cooperatively with the child mind in a loving manner in order to redirect our attention to new perceptions and new actions that in time will lead to a new identity. But let's understand the difference between the child mind and the adult mind a little bit more. The child mind sees everything as a threat. The adult mind sees potential and pleasantness in most things, if not everything. So the child mind says, don't do anything different. Don't go for that goal that you want to achieve, whether that be in your personal or professional life. The child mind is very protective over you because its number one job is survival. And the truth is that survival can mean more than just your physical survival. It can mean your social status, for example, right? So you can see the difference. The adult wants to investigate new experiences but can't because the child mind is connected to the subconscious, and the subconscious is the 95% of what happens to us throughout the day. The child mind believes in busyness and perfectionism. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Be perfect or else nobody will accept you and you're not worthy of anything. And therefore, you'll feel like you're not capable of anything. This is the perspective from the child mind. Whereas the adult mind believes that mistakes and loss leads to inner growth and learning. Notice the difference. The child mind believes that this anxiety is not something that's related to a bundle of habits. The child mind believes that he or she is anxiety, and possibly that he or she is a mistake to this world. Because children take things very personally when they happen. When something happens in the outside world and mom and dad are fighting, the child thinks it's his or her fault. When we understand this, we can begin seeing the situation from the child's perspective. Now let me ask you a question. As you go through your days in the coming days, are you going to continue being so hard on the child side that's trying to protect you, that's creating this anxiousness within you? Or are you going to have a change of heart, a change of direction? Are you going to be guiding? Are you going to be loving? Are you going to be understanding rather than so hurtful? You know, that child within you's gone through a lot, right? And at this point in your life, I think it's time that you began cooperating rather than competing with that child mind. It's time that the adult compassionately guided the child mind through certain responding techniques each and every day. Because, warrior, the truth is that anxiety is a bundle of habits. The truth is that no matter what anxiety disorder you're currently going through, You don't have to manage it no matter what anybody says. You don't have to cope with it for the rest of your life no matter what anybody says. This has nothing to do with an identity. Anxiety is a bundle of mental, emotional, behavioral, imaginative habits. And the truth is that if we can get the mindset right, then intuitively we will know what to do in terms of working with the inner child when the moment arises. I promise you, because this journey is about growing back your intuition and lessening the voice of your intellect, meaning overthinking, because anxiety is overthinking. Notice how much overthinking you're doing and it not even creating a solution, only more problems and more questions. So the truth is that trust and faith in this journey is essential as we continue embarking on this journey, as we continue allowing ourselves to let go and trust the voice of our hearts rather than the voice of our minds so very much. Protect that inner child. Work with that inner child, and I promise you, you're going to get to better places. Comment below and let me know the biggest lesson that you gained from this video today. Remember that you are more than anxiety. If you have any other questions on the #1 anxiety recovery programs available online today, head on over to this website here.